Yeah, I'm gonna complain about this for a little bit because
Okay.
Lordstowns are freaking imbeciles. Freaking imbeciles.
Mm.
We got coupled in a news article where Michigan adopted some of the data centers that are coming to town. This increased interest in using utilities around our different cities and different states to be able to set up these data centers. Huge demand for it. And our Lordstown gray hairs or blue hairs, whichever you want to refer to them, they decide that things are already okay. Like, we don't need to set in front of our youth any kind of prosperity or potential there. We love the brain drain, and you're an 18-year-old that is looking to graduate in tech, in programming, in artificial intelligence, and it's like, oh, a community that I wish I could start a family in, graduate and use my skills here in the Mahoning Valley. There's a bunch of blue hairs that are sitting there saying, you're going to create too much noise in my safe, secure little neighborhood. So we're not going to want the industries. They're going to employ the next generation of high specializations in our community. Let's let them go to some other places and then wonder, like, why are all the young people freaking leaving? Why? Because the only industries around here are your nursing homes, your medical facilities, and your pharmaceutical distribution facilities. So if you're not catering to the old people, you're chasing all the young people away by not being willing to be inconvenienced for 2 freaking seconds so that you can look further on beyond your own freaking backyard and do something that's better for the community and the generations ahead of you. You selfish numbskulls.
Can you describe what exactly this is and what it could have done?
Yeah. So basically what happens is there are data centers that are needed for technology advancements, AI development, right? And when you put a concentration of a data center in one area, it's a huge tax on power consumption, cooling, you need water, all of this stuff. So the brainchild said, we got to spread this out over the United States and buy up properties that are, have enough capacity for power consumption needs, have enough resources like rivers and fresh water to be able to cool these down. And they pick different segments. You got Michigan, you got Tennessee, you got Kentucky, you got Ohio, all these places, low cost of living. So you can hire labor in and accomplish this and have it distributed all across the country rather than putting it all in Silicon Valley. And then the rest of us are like, why do they get all the data center deal? Well, it's a good deal for the entire country, because it's sort of like Youngstown. Why do we have so many steel mills here? Because we had a cache of talented workers. We had a labor pool. We had connectivity where we had highways and trains and access to public utilities. We were a perfect spot to be able to lay down the Industrial Revolution right here in Youngstown and the Mahoning Valley, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the second industrialization, where we're going to just roll out AI and all these data centers because we need it, and Youngstown's like, well, no, maybe the steel mills are coming back, right?
Yeah.
And all these freaking old people, they can't see it as the next generation's infrastructure. So what would happen? Let's go back to the 20s or the 10s, right? And we're like, hey, we're going to have all this development. We're going to build all these buildings. We're going to produce steel for the entire freaking world. Let's pick all these places. What if communities then would have been like, we don't want steel mills that are going to do all this pollution and more traffic and hire hundreds of thousands of people. We don't want all of that prosperity. All these buildings came out of that, right?
Yeah.
And now we're like, oh, okay, well, I would just want to collect my Social Security and not be inconvenienced by this whole advancement thing.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So I don't want it.
And I'm so pissed off because there have been hundreds of opportunities that would lead me personally to other communities and states. And I have refrained. I said, you know what? I'm going to invest myself in this valley because we're going to make it. We've got grit. We've got the ability. We got the intelligence. We got great universities. We sell all of the things that can make us, prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
But then I watch Hubbard, all these communities, almost like in concert, all do the same dumb shit. And it makes me want to say, like, if I extended myself into a community in Tennessee and said, I'm going to create some jobs and I'm going to go out there and entice a company to come to your town. Do I think my community is going to embarrass the shit out of me by then signing petitions to keep what I begged to come to town? They're going to push away because they're freaking dolts, right? And my community, I know, would embarrass me. I don't know what it's like in Tennessee. Maybe they're a little bit more open-minded and be willing to make a little concessions for the sake of the community as a whole.
Well, and that was actually going to be my next question is it only here or is it everywhere?
It's not everywhere. It's not everywhere. There are other communities that are adopting it. Kentucky adopted it. Tennessee adopted it. Now Michigan adopted it. So watching all of our competitors, we're all vying for the same, come here, right?
Mhm.
And we're turning it away and being a big pain in the ass to this industry because, again, the people that are voting for it they can't program a VCR, right? They need your help to tell them what the buttons do on their phone. And they're deciding things like whether or not AI technology and data centers are coming to your community. Just you're over your skis. It's not for you to decide these things. Let the younger generation thoughtfully put investment into this.
Well, does that demographic outweigh the younger generation?
Yes,
or did
in
we
our
just
area,
not have the turnout?
huge senior citizen population. People that should not be deciding things when it comes to technology. They should be ushered off to maybe we dedicate an entire state for old people. We put them all there so they can't, let's give them their, access to, we'll deliver all your pharmaceuticals. We'll let you watch Judge Judy every freaking day, put them in a massive nursing home and get them out of our communities where they're hurting the next generation. They're hurting our cities, our townships, and also the young generation is like, if I'm coming out of college right now, right? And I got a degree in some advanced studies in technology, artificial intelligence or quantum computing or physics or whatever. Am I going to give this area even a little consideration, or am I going to take all of the skill that I got from this area? And am I just going to go to a town that knows what their asshole looks like?
So I'm trying to think then, why? What is their excuse? Is it, hey, I'm old now, I don't work, I'm on a fixed income and I can't afford.
I don't want to be inconvenienced. This stuff's
inconvenienced, or they can't afford it?
No, the inconvenience is this. So in order, like a company comes to town and they have requirements and needs, right? And it's up for our administrators and the people that represent us to go through all of those needs. So we'll use a data center. So what detriments does a data center have on your communities, right? They're going to be a huge consumer of electricity. So if I'm an 80-year-old person that has a fixed income anyway, I'm like, oh, this guy's going to come to town and use up all of our electricity, and the electricity production is going to skyrocket. So you put that on your list. Hey, if you're going to invite these people to town, make sure I'm insulated for energy costs going up. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, you're going to have a bunch of jobs coming to a community. So instead of 10 cars going down your road, it might be 100 cars as people are going to work. They're shopping in your communities. They're participating and making traffic congestion a thing, right? So then you put that on your list. Make sure that if you put this somewhere, it's not going to make sure that if I'm going down to downtown, instead of it taking me 78 seconds, it's going to take me 120 seconds. That's important to me. Fine. Okay. Third thing is contaminations, pollutions, and noise pollution. So water, air pollutions as well. And so then you put that on your third list. Like, we want to make sure that if they're using liquid cooling, they're using they have a treatment facility where they're taking any water that's coming into the facility. They're doing a good job filtering it back out, so they're not dumping bad hot water that's contaminated into our streams and whatever. And then air pollution, whether or not if the community can't support the power consumption and they set up a bunch of generators behind it, you don't want these clouds of generators. So you create a list of 4 things that are important to your community and say, if you come to town, this is the stuff that we want to make sure you have a really good answer to. And then so the administrators take it to the company that's interested in coming there and says, okay, these are our requirements. We want to make sure that we're not ill-affected in any of these departments, and get the responses on each one of these things. What are you going to do about water? Okay, we're going to run it through a filtration system that when the water goes back into the stream, it's more pure than when it came out. Okay, that's good response. We're going to take the facility and we're going to put it out of the ways, and they're going to pay for right-of-way. We're going to pay for right-of-ways so that instead of coming downtown and through your streets and through your neighborhoods, we're going to make sure we have a good off-ramp from the major roadways that are there, so it won't mess with your traffic patterns. And so, if they then answered all of what's important to you, that would be one thing. That's the beginning of a negotiation.
Yeah.
Our administrators are just fucking lazy.
So I'm assuming then did not have this conversation.
No, we did not have this conversation in the blind before it's in the beginning, the precipice of a negotiation. The blue hairs came out and basically said, we're going to petition so this doesn't come here because all of our fears, even though they have not been addressed right now, are real in our brains and we don't want that. And so we're gonna be against it before anything is actually talked about.
I'm not even gonna hear
not even
what
gonna
you
hear
have
about it
to
because
say.
you're stupid.
It's an automatic no.
It's an automatic no. And Hubbard joined them, and there's one other community that signed petitions to keep the interest even out of their community. Like, we don't want any of that. Not willing to talk about it. Not willing to find out and make some concessions. We're just stupid and blind to what our communities need. It blows my mind.